be to take steps to curb pollution. बहुत सारे काम करेंगे.
तो फाइनल क्वेश्चन, चीफ मिनिस्टर की भी बात चल रही है, आपकी क्या अभी तक कॉन्वर्सेशन
में मैं आपको बता देता हूँ कैसे होता है कि विधायक दल बैठेगा, वो नाम तय करेगा, पार्टी की लीडरशिप उस पर मोहर लगाएगी, जो नाम होगा सभी को मंजूर होगा.
सबसे पहले तो मैं कालका जी विधानसभा की जनता का धन्यवाद करना चाहती हूँ जो उन्होंने मुझ पर भरोसा दिखाया. मैं अपनी पूरी टीम का धन्यवाद करना चाहती हूँ जिन्होंने बाहुबल, गुंडागर्दी, मार पिटाई का सामना भी करते हुए जमीनी स्तर पे मेहनत करी और जनता तक पहुंचे. बाकी दिल्ली की जनता का जनादेश है, हमें जनादेश स्वीकार है. ये मैं अपनी सीट जीती हूँ, लेकिन ये जीत का समय नहीं है, ये जंग का समय ही है. जंग जारी रहेगी भारतीय जनता पार्टी के खिलाफ, उनकी तानाशाही और उनकी गुंडागर्दी के खिलाफ.
Let me quickly introduce my guest to you this evening. Dr. Dharendra Tayal is spokesperson of the BJP, has been with us since the morning. Thank you, Dr. Tayal. Welcome back. Vivek Banka is a financial expert. Vivek ji, thank you very much. Tehseen Poonawala joining us in the studio once again. Again, a friend of Mirana who's been with us through the morning.
Thank you so
Babby
much.
Badal, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, back on the channel. Babby ji, good evening. And Madhavan Narayan, senior journalist, joining us on the broadcast. Madhavan Narayan, you have to rush off somewhere. So I've been asked, Mr. Narayan se sabse pehla question पूछना. So I want to start with you, though I would have come to you at the end because I always find it very useful to get your perspective at the end once we've finished speaking to everyone.
Maybe
but
Mr. Madhav's meeting the Prime Minister, you never know. And he'll tweet about it, he'll X about it soon.
No, I mean, like Delhi has, like Delhi has turned, we are also turning the format a bit now.
Yeah.
I'm going to Mr. Narayan first. Madhavan Narayan, if the middle class in Delhi was angry with the Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal, why did we not see this anger? After all, come to think of it, Arvind Kejriwal is the middle class's dream boy. From IIT, cleared civil services, IRS, anti-corruption crusader, launches a political party that within 2 years comes to power and rules Delhi. How did this dream go so horribly bad? Hua kya?
I think it's important to understand that torrid affairs do not constitute long-term marriages. So therefore, this is a good analogy, actually. I think it's important to remember that Kejriwal is an interesting person. He and Saurav Bharadwaj and Atishi went to Oxford, remember. So we have a government of the Aam Aadmi Party, which is by the middle class, of the middle class, but it was not necessarily for the middle class. That is how they won the hearts of various sections of the society, like the some. Today, Delhi is not the old Lutyens Delhi of Babus and small corporate executives. It is a city of migrants from all over, from Purvanchalis to, it's a city of slums and shanties. It's okay to see G20 summits with all the plasters, but you go to Shadra and you know exactly what Delhi is. So Kejriwal succeeded in winning the hearts and minds of people in those areas, but the middle class that he came from felt isolated, and it was compounded by everything that the BJP did, including pointing out the shortcomings in the delivery of promises, using the office of the LG Lieutenant Governor and CBI. The second term of Kejriwal was as good as non-Aam Aadmi Party because most of the time was spent in prisons or courts or being constrained and from all over. So on top of that, when Mr. Modi delivers something like a 12 lakh rupee tax exemption, and there is a Sheesh Mahal controversy, there is an imagery, there's a dream gone sour, all of this compounded a middle class movement. Having said that, let me recollect what Yogendra Yadav told you on your show a while ago, that the middle class that sees itself as a middle class is not necessarily the middle class in pure statistical terms based on incomes across the country. So we are the elite pretending to be middle class because we have this illusion that vote is what we need to do. I told you last time we were on, I said middle class should be thought leaders, not voters. And the thought leadership thought leaders are still happy munching GST wala popcorn in multiplexes, and that is their choice, and they'll have to live with it. But this time, because of the sprightly, campaign put up by the BJP, please remember that 44% of the voters still gone got to Aam Aadmi Party. So I would say the middle class has played a significant but not decisive role in the victory of the BJP. And Mr. Modi, to his credit,
I agree with you there.
Perfectly timed his strokes. He went to Allahabad
And it's not
to take a dip in front of the
just the
camera
budget,
so that
actually.
the Hindu vote would be preserved. And the budget, of course. Yeah. So it is like
but it's not just the budget. Do remember that the 8th Pay Commission, that benefits many people who are still in service or retired in Delhi, that was announced right ahead of the elections as well. So it's not just the budget, it's also the 8th Pay Commission. Babi Badal, all of us have been wondering where this middle class anger was, why this anger was not palpable on the ground. Have you been able to make sense of why a group of people, a section of people, that went to Jantar Mantar, that went to the Ram Leela Maidan to support Arvind Kejriwal during the India Against Corruption days, has turned against you? Because a sizable population of this class has turned against the Aam Aadmi Party.
Shriya ji, they have not necessarily turned against the Aam Aadmi Party, but they have come into the influence of Bharatiya Janata Party, because we are missing Mr. T.N. Seshan. We are missing that election commission. The budget was announced right in middle of the election. And secondly, as you rightfully pointed out, the 8th Pay Commission. So let us get this straight. This was not a level playing field. Okay, we don't grudge the BJP their moment of glory. Especially the Prime Minister was so happy. He kept on speaking for 50 minutes. And we are not sore losers. But let me tell you, this is not a mandate of the Delhi people. This is a mandate which was kind of purchased by the BJP. This was a mandate which was manipulated by the BJP. So, okay, we are fine with it. But let me tell you that this Kejriwal, are we disappointed? Yes, we are. Are we hopeless? No, we are not. Aam Aadmi Party as a power in Delhi is not finished. We have 22 seats. Okay, BJP has gone for target killing and has ensured the defeat
I
of Mr.
100%
Kejriwal,
agree with you. I 100% agree with you that the Aam Aadmi Party with 22 seats will be a far stronger opposition than the BJP was with 8 seats. And I know you will keep the BJP on their toes, which is a good thing, which is what an opposition needs to do. But Babbi ji, boli to sare political parties ne lagai thi Delhi mein. If the BJP had promised doles and sops, the master of promising doles and sops and giving freebies is Arvind Kejriwal. So why are you complaining that the BJP right ahead of the election announced tax relief for the middle class and the 8th Pay Commission? Like you gave a sop to poor people before elections, the BJP gave sop to middle class people before elections.
No,
Baat to wahi hai na, Babbi ji?
There is a slight difference. When we promise that we will give something when we come in power, and other guy is promising it in national budget, so that is a different ball game. So, but let me tell you, Arvind Kejriwal never considered these as freebies. We never said. We said this is Revdi is what 15 lakh crore when they are waived off of industrialist. That is a Revdi. This is not
so
a
the
Revdi.
BJP is also saying we don't see it as sops. No, the BJP is also saying we don't see it as sops. We see it as welfare measures for the middle class. Any political party can say whatever, but I'll let Dr. Tayal respond to that. Dr. Tayal, essentially the allegation is that the BJP has purchased this election. We don't grudge you the victory, but you have purchased it, and you need to thank the Election Commission and Nirmala Sitharaman And who else for this election? I think Nirmala Sitharaman and the Election Commission.
And
the Yamuna
Delhi,
ji as well.
Yamuna ji.
Go ahead.
and
Go
Delhi
ahead,
police
Dr. Tayal.
and Delhi
Thank
police
you so much, Shreya.
अच्छा,
What
Delhi police also. Okay, Delhi police also. अरे LG को भूल गए.
LG?
LG too.
LG.
EVM, अभी EVM नहीं आया. Okay, thank you so much, Shreya.
Go ahead, Dr. Tayal.
Mr. Bubby spoke a lot of things, but what I heard was he said the difference between us and BJP was कि हमने promise किया, हमने देना थोड़ी था, उन्होंने तो actually दे दिया. This is what I heard. He said we only promised before the election. We were not going to give it because we did not give it in Punjab also. So we promised in Punjab, we never gave it, but this guy is actually promising and already giving it. This is not fair. This is not done. I mean, you are changing the goalpost. So this is what I heard. I think the major issue has been actually the genesis of Aam Aadmi Party. It came in on India against corruption. It occupied a space at that time. Congress was all over the place and scams were all over the place, the 2Gs, the CWGs and what have you. People were looking for an alternative. Those who were voting for Congress did not want to vote for BJP. They were looking for an alternative. And this gentleman landed right there. He occupied that space. I'll come in with Lokpal. I've got a 300-page dossier on Sheila Dikshit, so on and so forth. And people believed him. The issue is today he has vacated that space. He's no longer in that space. He's completely overwhelmed with scams. He swore by his children that I will not enter politics. He did. I have a Wagon-R. I don't need a car. I have a flat. I don't need a house. Sheesh Mahal was built, so on and so forth. So a lie one after the other, Liquorgate, and then you went on to you promised Mohalla clinics and you went on to have Mohalla Thekas and so on and so forth. So that is where the actual crucial part lay. Yeah.
Look, my limited point is, and let me just get in Vivek Banka as well. My limited point is that did the alleged corruption scandals which are yet to be proven dent Arvind Kejriwal's image? Sure, they did. But was corruption even an issue for India's middle class? Corruption is institutionalized in this country. We have gotten into a habit of saying, okay, it exists, we need to live with it. So Vivek Banka, was corruption even an issue in this election? And if there was this anger amongst RWAs, amongst people who live in societies and high-rises, amongst Delhi's middle class, I'm again asking you, why was this not visible?
It's surely an issue. I don't think we can disregard the fact that corruption is an issue and always will be an issue. But if you see that, my belief is a lot of other factors were at play, and not only what we see. My strong belief is even without the latest budget which was presented, the BJP should have won this election fairly fair and square. Maybe the magnitude might have increased due to the budget, but let me give you some statistics here. Delhi has approximately 90 to 95 lakh people investing in stock markets out of 3.5 crore population. Now, stock markets are something that boost the sentiment of everybody, and you can go back in history and check a lot of prices, sentiment, emotions, psychology, everything is basis listed stock markets. And this population of people wanted BJP to win because everyone knows BJP is pro-reforms. And if you see on Monday also, the stock market will open positive purely based on this account of the BJP win. Coming back to corruption, in corporate circles, when we speak, corruption is also known as an essential grease in the economy, something without which things do not move. So corruption, I think in some forms, I might be taken to a lot of flack for this, but I think it's essential for work to be done. But yes, I think the big bang corruption that Arvind Kejriwal got associated with, at least visibly, I think that really did play a part.
If that's the argument, then electoral bonds played a part in the 2024 election as well. because that was institutionalized corruption, Mr. Banka. But respond to Vivek Banka's point. He's saying that even without Nirmala Sitharaman's tax relief to the middle class, even without the 8th Pay Commission's announcement, the BJP would have won this election. There was enough and more going on against the Aam Aadmi Party.
To that extent, he's right that the Aam Aadmi Party seemed to have lost the plot a little before the financial budget that Nirmala Sitharaman ji did, and they were making a lot of mistakes, and we've been discussing that. The mass murder, genocide allegations, the allegations of the assassination of Arvind Kejriwal ji being plotted by the Delhi police itself with no evidence, and several other issues that seem to have no evidence. The middle class did feel that Delhi was not getting any work done.
But was the middle class not seeing that the LG was making every effort not to let the Aam Aadmi Party government work?
They did. And there was sympathy for Arvind Kejriwal ji, not in the Lok Sabha, because Lok Sabha is a Modi vote. There was sympathy when he came out of jail. There was a lot of sympathy, even with bureaucrats who may have voted the BJP right now. They were not comfortable with the way ED was being used, with the way Arvind Kejriwal ji was being harassed. None of that was there. But once he came out, it seemed that something had gone wrong. He was a changed Arvind Kejriwal. He was not the Arvind Kejriwal that we saw at the Anna Andolan, etc., who knew what the pulse of the people was.
Maybe he, before anyone else, had read what the mood of the people is.
In which case, he could have been more dignified, made less sensational allegations, and taken this fight without sensationalism. He could have actually had a good fight on how the LG stopped, and those issues, maybe the statehood for Delhi, etc. Taken the debates there. By saying there is mass murder and genocide, by saying Delhi police with BJP's plotting, and I don't like the BJP's plotting to kill him, I think people started wondering, is this going wrong? And then the drama didn't stop. Atishi ji became chief minister. Her only aim is to make Arvind Kejriwal chief minister. Her aim is not a flyover or drainage to be cleaned. Everything was becoming confrontational. Everyone started becoming evil. I think that was the bane of what went wrong with Arvind Kejriwal once he came out. He just spiraled down. And once he spiraled down, there was no recovering for the Aam Aadmi Party. He was the fulcrum that sort of held the party together. He just spiraled down, and he made so many mistakes that you don't expect vintage Arvind Kejriwal to.
You know, once the BJP recovers from its massive victory here in the national capital, they'll realize they have their task cut out. Because when people ask questions of pollution in the Yamuna or Delhi's air, you will not be able to blame Haryana for it. You need to deliver. And I think what this election is telling us is that by the end of it, people will ask for accountability.
I hope.
Have you delivered or have you not delivered? In this case, the Aam Aadmi Party didn't deliver on many parameters. They have paid the price for it.
Do we ask for accountability? Is pollution only in Delhi? Is it not a North Indian phenomena? Has any meeting been taken by the Honorable Prime Minister for all the states?
And where is India's Environment Minister when Delhi's pollution is peaking, missing in action?
How many of your viewers know who the Environment Minister is without Googling? So there is a problem.
Bhupinder Yadav,
yes, Bhupinder Yadav. By the way, a brilliant strategist.
Okay.
A brilliant strategist. But I'm not okay with
the BJP Maharashtra. But I'll end the show here.
I'm not okay with you with the earlier speaker saying that some amount of corruption is good. Corruption in no amount is good. It's not right. It's just
corruption is a reality in India. We've
it
learned
could
to
be a
live
reality.
with it.
It's not good. You can't say some amount of corruption is
who's
good.
justifying it? But I'm saying we don't live in an ideal world. No. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We'll leave it there. It's been a good day for the BJP though.
Good day.
Dr. Tayal, thank you very much. Vivek Banka, good to have you on the show. Tehseen, good to have you on the show. Babiji, thank you very much. And Madhva Narayan, thank you for your views as well. Ladies and gentlemen, good night. It's been a long day for all of us. I'm wrapping it here. My colleague Shreya Upadhyay is joining you with all the top stories at 9. Do stay with us.